Hey lovelies, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here, and today's video is going to be update number 1 on my current project pan for 2026. So I have all my products in here. I am doing a project pan on skincare and makeup products. So I'm just going to show you guys all the progress that I've made this month. So to no further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so if you've missed my intro, I'll just kind of quickly explain how I do my project pans. On skincare products, the goal is to finish up the product. And then on my makeup products, my goal is to either hit pan on them, or if I've reached 50 uses on them and still haven't hit pan, I will allow myself to roll them out if I decide that's what I want to do. So anyways, we're going to get skincare out of the way first, just because I feel like makeup is my favorite part, and so I want to get skincare out of the way first. But anyways, so let me pull out all my skincare products. I actually do have, I think, 4 empties this update, which is pretty exciting, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. Alright, so starting off first with cleanser, I do have an empty in this category. I was using this JLo Beauty That Hit Single Gel Cream Cleanser. Now, when I did do the intro, I was already about that way much through this product already. Even though I hadn't, done my intro. I wanted to do my intro in the beginning of the year, but with how things just worked out, I don't think I ended up doing my intro till March. So I'd already been using this product for a while, so when I brought this product, or when I introduced this product to you guys, I had about that much left in this tube. But I did go ahead and use it up, and I got about 10 more uses out of this before I finished it up. And I forgot to mention, also, whenever I use up a product, like skincare specifically, I will go ahead and roll in a new one. That way I'm starting to use it, and I don't have to wait until I do an update to then start using, to pull another product in. Because I use cleanser, every time I shower. So I didn't want to be, without my cleanser for that long until I could give you guys an update. So after I used that up, I pulled in this one here from Kiramoon. And this is their Silky Rinse Rose Water Gentle Hydrating Facial Cleanser. And so far, I have 14 uses on this. I don't know progress-wise. I can't see in the bottle, so I don't know where I'm at. If I had to guess, I want to say I'm probably halfway through this already. The formula of this, or the consistency of this product, is really, really watery. So it doesn't, I feel like I'm using it up really, really fast. So I'm just going to make a guess line. I'm going to guess on them right here. Just as like I said, as a guess line. But like I said, I've already used this 14 times. So I'm hopeful that by next check-in I will have used this up, but we'll just wait and see. Alright, and then moving on to exfoliator. This one was, I think, basically brand new when I showed it in my intro, and I've used this product so far 13 times. I want to say I'm about halfway through it. Again, the packaging's kind of hard to see through, so I can't really tell for sure, but when I first introduced it, that's where I made my mark, my guess mark. I don't think the product was all the way full. I don't think I had used this. If I used this before I showed you guys in the intro, I think it might have been once or twice. Really didn't have that much use on it before introducing it. But like I said, I don't think the packaging, I don't think it was all the way full. I think it was probably right around there. So I'm going to make another mark, but again, I'm guessing because it is still really full with air, so I really can't feel where the product is. So I'm just going to guess that I'm probably right about here. That's where I'm going to make my new mark. Anyway, so 13 uses on that. So that's pretty good. Moving on to the toner that I've been working on for freaking forever. Let me refresh my marks. Because I had this one in my last project pan that I ended up not continuing because I explained that in the intro. But anyways, so since my last update, I've used this 21 times, which is pretty good. I feel like I made a pretty good dent there. At least I feel like I am. I'm going to go ahead and make my new mark, but there's where I was at when I introduced the product. So you can see that I've made a pretty big jump. Not huge, but you know, pretty decent size. You know, 21 uses is a lot, and it is a spray, so you don't like use a ton each time I use this product, which I think is really weird for a toner to be in a spray bottle, but maybe that's pretty normal. I don't know. Anyway, so 21, I feel like I did really, really good on that one since my last check-in. All right, eye cream. So I originally had this product in as it was like an eye serum, and I used this one 6 times before I decided to roll this one out because I did not like this product at all. I was having issues with it. So it's kind of like an oil. They call it a serum, but it has like a really oily consistency. And the issue I was running into is you have to, you know, put it under your eyes, which is fine. And because it was like an oil consistency, it would leave like a residue, I feel like, underneath my eyes. And it really didn't matter how long I had applied it, like how long ago I had applied it. It felt like it always left some kind of residue under my eyes. Like my skin would not fully absorb it. So as I would, you know, put it on, if I put it on like in the morning after I did like my morning face wash or something like that and put it on, like throughout the day, if I rubbed my eyes or did anything, or sometimes I didn't even rub my eyes, I feel like somehow it ended up in my eyes. And I know that because whenever it would get in my eyes would start burning. And I was like, oh, why my eyes? And I'd have to get tissue and like kind of blot my eyes. I'm like, what is going on? And I realized it was this. That it was every time I used this product. And I was like, why is it doing that? Why is it somehow getting into my eyes? I don't know if like I said, if I rubbed my eyes or something, but it always just felt like ended up in my eyes no matter what I did. So I was like, you know what, this is not worth it. I don't like it irritating my eyes. Like it wasn't like super bad, but you know, it stung. And I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like that hours had passed and my skin has still not absorbed this product, or that it's leaving some kind of residue on my lid. And I was like, this is just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it in my opinion. So I decided to roll this product out, and I rolled a different one in to replace it. So to replace it, I have another JLo Beauty That Fresh Take eye cream, which is funny because, you know, I had the cleanser, which by the way, don't think I said I did not like this cleanser. It didn't do crap for me. It was super fragrant. Like it had a really strong fragrance, and I just don't feel like it really cleaned my face that well, so I didn't really like this product. But this product I actually really like so far. Anyway, so the eye cream, I've used this so far 15 times since I brought it in, or since I rolled it in. Here's what it looks like. This product is probably going to take forever to use because it does not take much, and it's a pretty good sized product. Like, I'm sure the pan's not really deep, but that's a lot of product there for an eye cream. And yeah, so let me give my close-up shot of it. But yeah, I just have a feeling that this is going to be here for a while. Because like I said, it takes like barely. A little goes a long ways. So yeah, and just from the size of the pan and how deep it is, yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be here for a very long time. And the packaging's like quite nice though. Anyways, so 15 uses on that. I feel like I did really good on that one. I feel like I did really good on my skincare since my last check-in. Alright guys, bear with me. 4 more products in the skincare category, and then we will move on to makeup. So next up, serum. So I had this one in there, and this was a carry-on or a rollover from my first project pan in 2025. The marks, I need to refresh my marks. So when I started my 2026 project and brought this in, I was about up to there when I brought it in. And this is an empty, so I did use it up. I used this 15 times before I finished it up, and I did like this recovery treatment oil. I can't say that it did like, I don't know. I feel like it did make my face really soft. I'm not really sure what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to help address the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. I don't really know if it did that, but it did make my skin feel really soft, which I really liked. So I don't know if I would pick this up just because aside from making my face soft, it didn't do like really anything else. I probably wouldn't pick this up again, but I did enjoy using it while I used it. So there's that one. And then to replace it, I have brought in this 111 Skin. This is a Cry ATP Sports Booster. I don't really know what that means, but I'm using it like a serum because it says you can. But anyways, here's this one. I can't tell the progress on it because it's that kind of like glass bottle that has that film on it, so you can't see through or you can't peek in there. But anyways, so far I've used this 5 times since I finished up the other one. I don't really have an opinion on it yet because I haven't really been using it enough to really notice anything, but it doesn't do anything negative to my skin so far. It is like really watery, so I have a feeling I might go through this pretty quickly. The bottle's not like huge, but we'll see. But anyways, there's that for the serum. Alright, and then I have my moisturizer here, and this is the Marc Jacobs Youthquake Hydro Full Retexturizing Gel Cream here. I've used this 25 times. I feel like this one is another one that's kind of a slow progress because it doesn't take, I know my lights are so blinding. It doesn't take a lot. Let me turn them down for a second. It doesn't take a lot of product. Like I don't use up a lot of product each time I use this. I'm having such a hard time showing you guys the inside. Like I'm over halfway through it. Let's just say that. But yeah, 25 uses on this. I don't know if I'll be able to use this up by next check-in. I'm gonna try, but I'm also not gonna just be putting a ton of moisturizer on just to use it up. Like I'm using the appropriate amount each time. I'm not trying to burn through products. I just think that's kind of wasteful. So I'm using them as they're intended to be used. But yeah. Maybe next time I'll at least have hit the bottom of it by then. But yeah, so far, I mean, I enjoy the moisturizer. I like it. It feels nice on the skin. I don't think it's super moisturizing for my skin because I still have some dry areas, especially on my nose. And sometimes around my mouth, that's where I get the most dry. So I don't know how well the moisturizer it actually is because like I said, those areas are still kind of dry sometimes. I might need to exfoliate more, so maybe that'll help. But the rest of my face feels fine, or looks fine, so I don't know. It might be helping, I don't know. Alright, last 2 products. So this product from Tarte is their Sugar Rush Lip Balm. I have had this in my project pan for a while. I had it in my 2025 project pan, and I rolled it over into 2026 because I am determined to use it up. And I've been struggling to use this product up. But I think I did really well since my last check-in. I've used this 15 times. And that's pretty good considering I think in the past I would use it 6, 7 times maybe most. It did help that we had a cold spell here between my 2 check-ins and my lips got really dry. So I was caking this bad boy on every night before I would go to bed as using it like a lip mask because that's how I use it. I use it as a lip mask because it's a pretty thick consistency and I just found that worked better for me and I was more likely to use it because I'm really bad about just carrying around chapstick and just using it throughout the day. I use it as a nighttime routine. But anyways, so 15 uses on this and I did actually finally hit pan, which I was super excited about. I've been trying to hit pan in this thing forever. So that's pretty good progress. I'm counting it as pretty good progress. I'm pretty proud and pleased with myself for how well I did. I don't think I will use this up by next check-in, but I hope to at least expand that pan quite a bit. But yeah, I might start focusing actually on the edges now that I've hit pan, so maybe the pan really won't expand, but I'm super pleased with myself because if you've been following my project pan for a bit, you'll know this product has been a struggle, so really happy with myself on that one. Alright, and then the last skincare product is this hand cream, or I'm using it as a hand cream. It's the Brazilian Bum Bum cream here. I have this mini or a sample basically. I can't even remember where. I think I got it in an Ipsy box a long time ago, or maybe an Ipsy bag. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I got this from, but somehow it ended up in my collection. So I used this one 15 times as well, and I'm almost done with it. Like, I really am hopeful that, I'm really hopeful by next check-in I will have used this all up, because there really isn't that much left in there. Like, you can see the bottom, and yeah. Honestly, just by looking at this is probably maybe 2-3 uses left in here, because I do like to lather on my lotions. Like, I don't use like an excessive amount, but I do like to moisturize my hands pretty well. So I really think I could probably use this up within, like I said, 2 to 3 uses. I will say, I think the Bum Bum Cream is overrated. Like, I used it pretty consistently there, especially during the cold season that we had, or that cold spell when I was super dry. And like, I even used some of it on my elbow here because I had like a dry spot on my elbow, and I still have a dry spot on my elbow. Like, don't get me wrong, the smell of this is amazing. I love the smell of the Bum Bum Cream. Like, it smells really, really good. But when it comes to like an actual lotion, I don't think it does very good. Like, it's not very moisturizing. My hands really don't feel any softer, considering how frequent I was using it. You would think your hands would start feeling softer, especially like on that rough spot on my elbow. Like, it didn't do anything for it. But I don't know, maybe it's my skin. Let me know if you've used the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream and what your experience was like with it, because I think it's overpriced and overrated. But that's just my opinion. But there you go. That is my skincare part of it. I feel like this part is always the longest and probably the most boring, but you know what? I'm trying to project pan both skincare and makeup. And skincare is, yeah, I have a lot of skincare, so it needs to be done. But anyway, so there's all my skincare progress. So now let's move on to the makeup. So first up, concealer. So I'm trying to use up this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and it's the satin finish one. This is supposed to be a more hydrating one. So when I introduced this, that was where I put my mark, because that's how much I believe I have left in the tube. And unfortunately, I don't think I've made that much progress on it. I have used this 12 times since the intro, and I feel like I have like way more windowing. It was laying on its side just now, so some of it might have moved to the side of the bottle, especially right there, or whatever you want to call this. The reason why I don't have a lot more progress on this, or at least what I'm assuming, is I just don't use a ton of concealer anymore. Like, I've changed up the way I do my makeup a lot. I used to, do like the whole lots of concealer, do the T-zone, like everywhere, like, back in the old YouTube days, how they would show you how to do it. That's how I did it. Now, as I've gotten older, I just don't like putting as much concealer on, because thankfully I don't have like really bad dark circles under my eyes. So I don't need a whole lot of coverage when it comes to actually underneath my eyes. And honestly, my makeup taste has changed a lot. I don't like the whole brightening look anymore. I try to go for more of a natural makeup look, I guess. I know that's trendy right now, like the fresh, is it fresh makeup look, or I don't know, I don't keep up with the names of everything, but I do like the more natural makeup look. Like, I still like wear shimmers and stuff like that, so that's not like very natural. But when it comes to my actual like base makeup, I try to do as natural looking as I can, and I don't like the cakey look. And putting that much concealer under my eyes just makes it look super cakey. It's never been very flattering for me. So how I use concealer now is I'll do like literally just a dot, just to kind of do like an overall like base, just to have it all even in one tone. And I will sometimes do the corner of my nose here, just because I do have more redness in the corners, and then the rest of the time I just spot conceal. Like, I don't do the whole brightening areas anymore. I'm not trying to make my chin look, I don't know why all the tutorials back in like 2016, like old school YouTube days, why they would make you put concealer on your chin. I guess it would have to do with the whole brightening look, but I don't know why I did that. I don't, unless I had like a pimple or something, I don't really put it on my chin anymore. I do use it to spot conceal when I have pimples, but mostly I just put a couple of dots under my eyes, like I said, and around my nose, and anywhere there's a pimple. So the point is, I don't really use a whole lot of concealer when I do use it, and that's why I think my progress has slowed down a lot. But I am pretty hopeful I can finish it by at least the end of this year. If not, in about a few months, maybe 2 or 3 months. So I'm not going to make a new mark because I don't really think I've made that much progress. Anyways, moving on. I rambled on that for too long. I'm sorry. Moving on to powder. So I am trying to finish up this powder. I hit pan in it, I think, when I was trying to hit pan in 2025. And then since I've already made a pretty good amount of progress on this, I'm just kind of trying to finish it up. But anyways, this is the PYT Beauty Set Me Up Setting Powder in the shade Fair. I use this one 12 times. And I am focusing more on the outer sides of it right now because when I was focusing in the middle, it was crumbling a lot. So I've now switched to trying to use the outsides of it. So I don't think I've made much progress on the pan. So progress-wise, pan-wise, I have not made like a ton. I do think the pan kind of expanded over here a little bit. But like I said, I've been mostly sticking to the outer sides, trying to get that down. I don't think it looks that much different from last time. Like I said, I think this pan expanded a little bit on the side here. But the rest of it, I think it kind of looks the same. But anyways, so there's that one. So 12 times I've used that one. I will say I don't think I did as well on makeup since last check-in as I did on skincare. Makeup has just been like, I only really wear it when I'm filming or if I'm going out and I have the time, because I'm in my 3rd trimester, so I feel like most of when I go out now has been to doctor's appointments and things, and they're usually early in the morning, and I just don't care to get up and put makeup on just to go to see the doctor. Maybe I should, but I'm lazy, I'm tired. I have a toddler to get up in the morning to take with us, so that's my focus. If I have time for makeup, fine, but usually I don't. So I feel like I didn't wear as much makeup since my last check-in as I have in the past. Hopefully I can change that up a little bit. I'm trying to make more time for myself. But anyways, so moving on to bronzer. So in my intro, I had this LYS bronzer in. That's what I chose for 2026 to work on. And this is the matte bronzer in the shade Motivate. And it's our light one. So I used this one 8 times. And after those 8 uses, I decided that I did not like this bronzer. It just wasn't working for me. It comes across really yellow on my skin, and one thing that I don't do in my project pans is I don't hate pan. I don't enjoy using products that I hate. Like, if I don't like a product, I will just get rid of it. I'm not going to make myself use it up just to use it up. So I don't hate pan, or I don't hate project pan. I don't know. There's a term for it. I think it's called that, but I don't know. So after those 8 uses, and I just determined that it was not flattering on my skin, I did not enjoy using it, I decided to roll this product out, and I rolled another bronzer in. And the one I decided to roll in is this one here from Alani. I've had this one for a pretty long time. This is their Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade 02, which is Sunkissed. And I really am glad I rolled this one in because I really like this bronzer a lot. This one is so flattering on my skin, and it's just a really nice bronzer. I do think it's going to take me a really long time to hit pan, and I'm honestly not confident that I will hit pan before 50 uses. So this one may be one of those ones that I hit 50 and then I roll out and bring something else in. And that's okay because I really do like this product, so I don't mind having this in my collection. I'm not in a rush to use it up, but I am really curious to see how much progress I can make before I hit 50. Like I said, I've already used this. Well, I only used this three times. That's not very much. Like before I rolled that one out and rolled this one in, I've only used this one 3 times since then. So maybe my next check-in hopefully I'll have used it a lot more. And maybe I'll make some progress, but this is just super pigmented and it doesn't take much to get it to where I like it. I don't like a ton of bronzer. Like I like to add a little bronze to my face, but I'm not someone that I don't contour or anything like that. Like I just want a little bit. So I don't use like a ton of it each time I use it, but I really do like this bronzer. I forgot how much I like this bronzer because it's easy to forget about products Like, I don't have a big bronzing collection. I think bronzers is like the smallest part of my makeup collection, but I am really picky when it comes to bronzers. So I'm excited to see where I'll be next check-in with that product. And like I said, I've just every time I use it now, I'm just like, chef's kiss. Moving on to brows. I have an empty on my brow product. So this one from Billion Dollar Brows, Brows on Point micro pencil here. I have been trying to use this up for freaking forever. This was in my 2025 project pan, and when I had brought this product in, there was not much left to it, and I did not use it for up in 2025. I don't know how I didn't, because there was so little left. It was just so pigmented, and I'm just someone who just fills in my bare spots and just kind of brushes the product through. I'm not like, I don't sculpt my brows out, so I don't use like a ton of brow products each time. Like, I don't use a ton of the brow product each time I use it. But I did finally use it up, and I'm so happy because, like I said, I've been working on this forever. So there's an empty, there's one makeup empty, which I was super excited about. But anyways, so I used that product 12 times before I finished it. And I'll try to remember to put a picture up on the screen. But I had such little left, and I'm so surprised that I got 12 more uses out of that before I finally used it up. So that product, I mean, I might repurchase that in the future because it lasted me so freaking long. Anyways, moving on. So I rolled in another brow product after I finished that one up. And this is from One Size. And this is in the shade Medium Brown. And it's just another micro brow defining pencil. This one I haven't, like I've used it so far 5 times since I've rolled it in. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole rolling it all entirely up so you can see how much is left in here. Hopefully it doesn't snap. But yeah, we'll just see how much is in here. There's quite a bit. This is going to be, hopefully this one won't take me as long, but it might. I'm actually scared to keep going. I really don't want it to break. Alright, I think that's maxed out. So that is how much I have in there. I honestly don't know how long it's going to take me to use this up. If it's anything like that one, it's going to be a while, but we'll just see by next check-in how much progress I've made. Like I said, I've used this one 5 times so far. I do feel like it's not as pigmented as the last one. Like, it's pigmented, but I feel like I do use this one up a little bit quicker than the last one, because the last one was kind of darker, so I would just kind of smudge it around. This one's kind of a little bit lighter, so I do need to go in with it a little more in my areas that are thin. But anyways, so far I like the product. Alright, then I have a highlighter in here that I'm using as like an inner corner highlight. I use it under my brow bones, maybe on the tip of my nose here, and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. I'm not using this highlighter as like an overall face highlighter, just using it in those areas that I mentioned. But anyways, I've used this 16 times this since last check-in. It's a sample one, or I don't know if it's a sample or a mini from Becca. I know Becca has been discontinued, but I got this a long time ago, probably in like an Ipsy bag or something, and I've just been trying to use it up. This is in the shade Lilac Geode. I feel like I made pretty good progress on this one. Like I said, I've used it 16 times. Now I am using like a tiny brush because I'm using it as like an inner corner highlight and under the brow bone highlight, and I have been focusing in one area. So I'm thinking I should hit pan by next check-in. I'm hopeful. But here's the progress that I've made so far. I don't know if you guys can see that big old dip. I'm going to try to angle it. But there is a big dip in it. I know it's a tiny dip because, like I said, I've been focusing it in one area. I feel like I'm about to turn it like sideways just for you guys to be able to see it. But there you go. You can kind of see that dip. It probably looks bigger in person. Like, I feel like my camera is having trouble really showing the full effect of it, but I'm thinking if I continue to use that same spot that I should hit pan soon. If I'm really surprised I haven't already, unless it's just a really deep pan. But anyways, I'm pretty hopeful that I'll hit pan by next check-in. Next up, I have an eyeshadow palette here from Ciate London. Now, how I do eyeshadow palettes is I'm not trying to hit pan in every single shade or anything like that. I'll usually pick two, like I'll have a randomizer choose 2 shades from me, and then I will focus on those 2 shades. So the 2 shades that randomly got picked were these 2 shimmer shades here. So one of them is in the shade Baby and Mink, I think. I don't know. I don't never like it when eyeshadow palettes don't have the names like on the actual palette and they just have it in the back sticker here, because I always have trouble reading those. But anyways, they're the 2 shimmer shades here, and I've used both of them 13 times. And I've gotten a decent dip in them. It's not like a huge dip, but you can tell that I've been using them. I feel like shimmers, I don't know. I don't know if shimmers are easier to hit pan in than mattes. I've never hit pan in a shimmer before. I have hit pan in a matte, and it did take me a while, but I don't know. I feel like this is going to take me a little more time. I don't know. I really don't know how long. I might hit 50 uses before I hit pan. I'm not sure. I'm really hopeful that I will hit pan. But like I said, shimmers are just, I don't know, these are really pigmented, so it doesn't like call for a lot. I feel like 13 is a pretty decent amount of uses, and I feel like I still just barely have, like it just barely looks like I've used it. I don't know, like you can tell I've used it, but it just, not as much progress as I was hoping for. But that's okay. I'm still enjoying using these shades, so I will just carry on, see how far I get. Alright guys, we're almost done. So 4 more products and then I'm done. So next up I have a mascara in here, and it's this Tartelette tubing mascara. It's a mini. I've used this one 16 times. I can't tell the progress on this. You know, I'm not going to get a flashlight and look in there. I feel like I still have a little ways to go on this. I'm either going to use it up until there's no more product coming out or until it dries up. So whichever comes first. But I still am getting quite a bit of product. It hasn't dried out yet, and I'm, you know, every time I use it, there's still product in there, so we will see. I really don't know. I'm like a person that just keeps using it until literally you can't get any more on your eyelashes, so yeah. I think I'm actually more of a person that uses it up until it's dried up. Or like I said, like usually literally nothing coming out. So we will see how long it takes me to use this up. I don't know, 16 uses on this and it's still going strong. So there's that. Then I have a lip liner here. This one is from ColourPop. This one I'm going to try to use up, but to be realistic, I will probably only keep it in till the end of the year and then probably switch it out, and I'll just see how much progress I made. This is in the shade Oh Snap. I only sharpened this once. I have used it 10 times, so not the best, but not the worst. I don't really know how to do like progress on this aside from just counting my uses, but there's where I'm at. I know you can get a piece of paper and like draw it and everything, but I'm lazy and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to show you guys here on my hand. But yeah, 10 uses out of this. I like the color. I don't know, since I've started putting one in a project pan, I have gravitated more towards like always putting a lip liner on. But I will say that like lip liner was never like my staple in my makeup routine kind of thing. And like I would just always go for a lipstick, but they're starting to grow on me, honestly. I do notice a difference. Like I do prefer to use a lip liner with products now, so I don't know. I'll see how much progress I make. Alright, 2 more products and then I'm done. So next up, lip gloss. So I have this one here from Nabila. This is the Shiny Theory lip gloss in the shade Renaissance. And I actually did really well with this, I think. Yeah, because I made a mark where I was guessing where I was at. Because you can see through the bottle, but you know, like when lip glosses, like they kind of have to settle to like see your progress. So that black mark is where I was guessing that I was starting out. Like that's where I saw it. And if you can tell now, I don't know if you can, I'll have to turn it. That's where it's sitting at now. So, where's my mark? So where my finger's at is where it's now at. So that's a pretty good progress. I used this one only 7 times, but I do kind of go in. I'm not really going like super heavy, but I do like to apply quite a bit of lip gloss. Like I only will apply it once when I'm doing my makeup. Like I'm not someone that carries it in my purse and reapplies it throughout the day. But you know, I make sure that there's enough on my lips to get me through at least a few hours. But anyway, so I feel like I'm going to use this up pretty soon, like within a month or 2, I would assume. Now I probably will try to get in there and scrape some of it out, but I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like gets every last drop out of it. Like I'll try to get as much as I can out, and I'll probably remove the stopper as the time gets closer. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make my new mark, and yeah, so I'm happy with the progress I made. I was actually really surprised. Maybe there's not as much product in here as there looks to be. I kind of wonder if that's the fact, or if that's kind of what's going on here. Alright, and then last but not least is the setting spray that I'm trying to use up. And this is from Dazzle Me, and it's the Get a Grip Long Lasting Makeup Oil Control Fine Mist Makeup Setting Spray. That's like a lot. I used this one 11 times. And I can't tell progress-wise because it's a colorful plastic bottle and you can't see through it, so I don't know how much is in here or where I'm at, and I really don't think I can determine it, so I'm just going to go based off my uses. I will say that I'm not a huge fan of this product. Like I don't hate the product, so I don't consider this like a hate panning, but what I don't really like about this product is the mister. It's not what it says. It says fine mist, and it's not very fine. It comes out pretty thick sometimes. Like I have to like pre-spray it and then hope that it doesn't put big chunks on me. Not like big chunks, like it's chunky. It's just like big droplets come on my face, and I kind of have to pat it in afterwards. So yeah, that's really just the only thing I don't like is the sprayer's not very good. But I don't really notice it doing a whole lot, but I'll use it up because, I don't know, I'm not a big setting mist person. That's something in my routine that I could definitely skip. But the reason why I have setting mists is I've gotten them in boxes and I'm just using them up. Oh, I almost forgot. I have an empty in that category. So I had this, I can't even remember the name of it because it's so rubbed off, but I think it's the Dear Midnight is the brand, and it was the Set to Last setting spray here. I forgot about this one. This is an empty. I used this one up. This is what I originally had in, and then I rolled that one in. And then I rolled the other one in. So let me see. How many uses? I don't remember. I think I forgot to write down how many uses I got out of this before I finished it up. There is like a tiny amount still left in here, but I cannot get any more out. Like the sprayer won't pick anything up like when I spray it. So I'm just considering it done. But anyways, so I finished this one up. It was nice. Would not repurchase, but I used it up. So there. But there you go, guys. That's going to do it for today. That is my update number 1 on my current project pan for 2026. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that really does help my channel. And also let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of my update. And if you stuck around to the very end of the video, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!